Hey everyone, hope you've had another amazing week. It's been an incredible week recovering from PIMD Con, our annual conference. It was incredible seeing 400 to 500 physicians get together both live and virtually to figure out how to shape their ideal lives. It was a ton of fun. I'm going to share some big insights and takeaways, and I hope these takeaways will help you, whether you were there or not, at least make you feel like you were there yourself. So get ready for that. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Passive Income MD podcast, where we talk about creating your ideal life through multiple streams of income. If you enjoy hearing about this stuff, make sure to hit subscribe. Now let's get on with the show. Okay, everyone. Again, PIMDCon happened last week, and people have been asking me, have you had a chance to relax and recover? To be honest, the answer is no. We had some encore nights that we had after the conference, about 3 days virtual, that we went online, had some additional panels and some time for people to connect, because what I found was that when people come back from a conference like this, you're all jazzed up, excited, and then you don't know what to do next. And sometimes you get back into your normal routine and you're like, oh man, I don't even know what to do. I wish I had some support again. I missed what we had there at the conferences. So this year we did something a little different where we brought together people virtually again, online, to keep the learning going, keep the connection going. And it was a ton of fun. But what that meant for me and my team was that we just kept going. And that's okay, because honestly, I get a ton of energy from this. I don't know if you can tell, I get really excited by being around people, just hearing all these different stories. It was so much fun. The big theme this year at PIMDCon was living life by design, not by default. I mentioned in one of my talks that the path for us as physicians has always been pretty set. Study hard, get into med school, residency, fellowship, attending, and you think you're good to go. But somewhere between becoming an attending and retirement, we also think that the roadmap is set. The truth is, it absolutely isn't. And if you're not setting it yourself, then someone else is setting it for you. So how much clarity do you have around what you want in life? How much intention are you putting into the time and energy of what you're doing daily? Are you choosing your priorities first and then building everything around that? Or are you working the other way? For a lot of people who came to the conference, it was kind of a homecoming. They've seen each other year after year, and it's a great chance for people to connect and have fun and catch up on how their lives are doing. But I would say for a lot of people there, it was their first time. There were a lot of people there who didn't know a single other person. But when you find yourself in a community of physicians who are there to support each other, to connect, to learn, you're quickly going to find other people you relate to. You're going to find other people that you connect with, and people walked away with friends and business partners, collaborators, accountability partners. It was cool to see. And sometimes it's hard for me to put into words what the event was like, but I'm going to try to do my best right now and try to let you in on some of the big takeaways I got this year. And again, they might help you, and I'd love to hear some of your takeaways. Now, on the first day, we had this one session, something we called power networking, where groups of 3 or 4 people, they went around, got to know each other, and then they shared a challenge they were facing. One person would talk, and the others were there just to listen. Then we spent some time that each person who listened to that person's problem could just give them as many options or opportunities or things they've learned or things to think about. They weren't there to solve their own problems. They were there to solve that one person's problem and give them as much help as possible. And the job of the one person who had shared their problem was to just sit there and listen to all the solutions. Think about possibilities. Think about how to actually make these things happen. Could they work? Not to naysay, but just to listen to different options. And they would be writing all of those things down furiously. And at the end of it, they would take the top 2 to 3 things that might work to help solve their problem and to pursue those. And I was watching all this happen, and it was incredible to see the energy around solving other people's problems. And I think we're so good at this as doctors. That's what we're doing all day. We're solving other people's problems. But sometimes when it comes to our own problems, we get stuck so quickly, especially in thinking that, oh, that won't work. This is why that won't work. And we get stuck in our own negative thinking, and we tell ourselves it's not possible. But when someone else has a problem, we have those solutions so easily. So here's the first takeaway. We're often much better at solving other people's problems than our own. So we learn the solution for this. Get in a group of 3 or 4 other people that can help you think through challenges and problems, and we can all help each other out to solve these things and get forward in life. And if you don't have those people in your life, go find it. All right, and thinking about takeaway number 2, we heard from a lot of incredible physicians who had created massive investment portfolios, physicians who had created huge businesses in AI, health tech, and even things in clinical medicine. And for many of us, we wonder how they did that. We thought maybe they were lucky, maybe they're doing things that we couldn't do, and maybe from the outside it looks like that. But when we heard their individual stories, we realized it's not about luck per se. It's always good to be lucky, but it was all about the action that they took. The lucky ones were the ones who had taken step after step after step. Maybe they made some mistakes, maybe they stumbled a bit, but they always stayed in motion. They kept the momentum going, and opportunities kept finding their way to them. And so we talked about it. The lucky physician is the one who takes action. Living by default is waiting for the perfect opportunity or waiting for the perfect plan to come into place. But the life of design is about taking action, even when it's not perfect. I think the big takeaway here is that you don't think your way to freedom and control, you act your way into it. If you want opportunities, if you want to be lucky, just keep moving. Then we spent some time talking about the future of medicine. And in fact, we talked a lot about AI. That's one of the biggest things that people are talking about today, and it can feel kind of scary, especially when it comes to physicians and our clinical world. And we learned that AI can do a lot of things better than us right now. But the point wasn't that AI is going to replace physicians. It's about using it as a tool. It's about leverage. How can we utilize AI to save time, to automate tasks, free up our energy, do better at treating patients, help it build our businesses, and allow us to take back control of our time and what we do for work? There are so many people that are just scratching the surface on AI. Many people probably use ChatGPT or Gemini to some degree. But how many of you are actually experimenting with it to see how far you can push it? How many people are using it as a tool to take back control of your lives, to create more freedom? The big takeaway is don't wait till you're forced to learn AI. Start the education now. Be at the forefront of it. Figure out how to integrate it into medicine or whatever you're passionate about and use it to build something. Joining a mastermind group was a pivotal moment in my life. Within the first year, my income tripled, and by year 4, it had increased 20-fold. But the benefits went far beyond financial gains. I found myself surrounded by a network of like-minded individuals, forming connections that would become lifelong friendships. And the collective wisdom and support from this community played a crucial role in my success and personal development. From these amazing experiences, I felt a strong desire to create a similar community for my colleagues and peers, and that's you. That's why I launched Momentum MD Mastermind. People have been asking what this is. Momentum MD, or MMD for short, is designed to offer the same transformational powers in both personal and professional growth that I've experienced. It's not just about increasing your income. It's about creating this amazing environment where you can thrive, learn, and grow alongside other ambitious and supportive like-minded individuals. MMD provides a space where members can share their challenges, celebrate their victories, and push each other and keep each other accountable to reach new heights. It's about building a network of professionals who are committed to helping each other succeed. We focus on actionable strategies, accountability, and fostering an environment of continuous improvement. So whether you're looking to advance in your career, start a new venture, or simply find more balance and fulfillment in your life, MMD is here to support you every step of the way. Now, if this resonates with you in some way and you're interested in learning more, we'd love to hear from you. To learn more about the Momentum MD Mastermind and to pre-apply for a call with us, please visit MomentumMD.com. Let's see how we can help elevate your life to the next level. There are limited spots, so don't wait. Take the first step towards your transformation today. You won't regret it. Okay, so if you were there for my talk, I did a little demonstration using rocks, pebbles, and sand. I told people that's probably the thing I was most nervous about all weekend to make sure I got that demonstration right. But it was about the way we utilize our time and our energy. And what order do we do it in? Do we start with the things like sand, the charting, the busy work, the meetings we don't want to be at, the things that we don't want to do? And we start with that. Then we add the pebbles on top, which are some of the career achievements, maybe investments, the finances, maybe a few hobbies that we have a little time for. And then lastly, we try to fit in the big rocks in our lives, family time, our own health, things that make us feel like we have purpose, things we're passionate and have a mission to help serve others with. And it seems like sometimes after the sand and the pebbles, we have no time for any of that. In fact, I was just talking to a physician the other day, and he said he was trying to learn about investing, but just didn't have any time. He knew it was important, and he knew that he wouldn't be able to get where he wants to be without creating other streams of income. And so I asked him, do you work out? And he said, yeah, I work out. And I'm like, how do you find time for that? How do you find time, no matter how busy you are, how tired you are, to take care of your own health, which is incredible, and still have time for charting and doing your work? And he says, look, I just put it in my calendar. So my challenge to everyone was to set the big rocks first. Set the big priorities, whether it's your family, whether it's your health, your freedom. Schedule those big activities first and then build your life around it. And somehow you'll find it still fits. My biggest challenge was for the next 90 days, find one big rock that you're going to prioritize. Put those activities, put that time in your calendar and guard it with your life. When you live by default, someone else tells you what you need to do with your time. When it comes to design, you get to decide how you spend your time, your energy, and your resources to create the life you want. And lastly, if there's one thing I'll remember from this year, it's how much physicians love to connect. One thing I kept hearing again and again was that when people normally go to physician conferences, they just want to get out of the room. They want to get their CME. They barely talk to anyone, and they do their best just to get out of there. Well, we had these mastermind sessions, networking time, hallway conversations, and no one wanted to stop talking. There's a saying that proximity is power. If you surround yourself with the right people, the right action takers, with the right connections, then you never know what's going to happen. You probably heard the saying that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I like to say you're the average of the 5 physicians you spend the most time with, because we probably spend our time around doctors the most. So look at the 5 other physicians that you spend the most time with. Are they possibility thinkers? Are they creative? Are they resourceful? Are they thinking about the future? Are they creating their own ideal lives? Are they taking massive action? And if they're not, and if you're wondering why you haven't been able to create massive change in your life, that might be a reason why. It's not you. It's who you surround yourself with. And remember, you get to choose that. So find a community, find a group of people who get it, who think like you, will support you, keep you accountable, help you think about possibilities, get resourceful. And if you feel alone in the way you think, just know that there's a huge community out there of people who are thinking like you. I think we witnessed that at PIMDCON, and I'm so grateful for it. So let me leave you with a couple questions that you can reflect on. Where in your life are you just waiting for things to happen instead of taking action? How can you create the most leverage in your life, whether it's using AI, tools, resources, community? And what are the major priorities in your life that you can't seem to find time for? Again, my challenge is to choose one of those, put it in your calendar for the next 90 days. Don't compromise on it. They're non-negotiable, and see how your life actually fills in the gaps around it. And for those of you who were there in Newport Beach with us, or maybe you'll join us in Dallas next year in 2026, just know I have so much gratitude for this community. You guys are incredible. You're amazing. And I appreciate just being in a community of people who just care. They're just good people. And so I have to leave you with this. Are you living life by default, or are you living it by design? And if you're not, how are you going to make those changes to get where you want to be? If we can support you in any way, never hesitate to reach out. I appreciate you so much. Have an amazing week, and let's talk again soon. Enjoy the show? Let me know by dropping a review in the podcast app you're listening to us in. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe. Join thousands of physicians who are also on this journey to creating their ideal lives through multiple streams of income. Learn more at our website, PassiveIncomeMD.com. Thanks again for allowing me to be a part of your journey. See you next time.